After losing her job in the city, Emma decided it was time for a fresh start. She wanted to leave her stressful life behind and move somewhere quiet. One evening, while searching online for a cheap place to live, she found an old house at the end of a quiet street. The price was surprisingly low, and the owner wanted to sell it quickly. Emma didn't ask too many questions. She only wanted a new beginning, but there was something Emma didn't know. She'd actually lived in that house once before. She was only 7 years old when she disappeared from the house with her mother. Emma had no memory of it. And when she moved back 20 years later, she had no idea that the house had been waiting for her. 3 nights after moving in, Emma woke up at exactly 2:17 a.m. Tap, tap, tap. Someone or something was knocking from inside the wall, and that was only the beginning. Because when Emma finally discovered the hidden room behind the wall, she found something impossible. Every object inside belonged to her, but Emma had never seen this room before. Or had she? Chapter 1. The Hidden Truth. Emma arrived at the house on a rainy Monday afternoon. She carried the last box into her new bedroom and looked around. The room was small, but the large window showed a beautiful garden. For the first time in months, Emma felt calm. She unpacked a few things, made some tea, and went to bed early. At exactly 2:17 a.m., she woke up. Tap. Emma opened her eyes. Tap, tap. She sat up and listened carefully. The sound was coming from somewhere in the house. Then she heard it again. Tap, tap, tap. Emma turned on the light. The house was completely silent. The next morning, Emma told herself that the noise had probably come from an old pipe. She decided not to think about it. While unpacking her boxes, however, she noticed something strange on the wall. It was a small drawing made with a child's pencil. It showed a house, a tree, and a little girl standing in front of the door. Emma stared at it. Something about the drawing felt strangely familiar. Then she noticed something written underneath it. Emma's house. Emma stopped breathing for a moment. She had never told anyone her name. That evening, Emma called the previous owner and asked about the drawing. The woman on the phone became strangely quiet. "Did you find something in the house?" she asked. "Just a child's drawing. Throw it away." Emma frowned. "Why?" But the woman suddenly ended the call. Later that night, Emma searched the bedroom more carefully. While moving an old piece of furniture, she found something hidden beneath the floorboard. An old photograph. It showed a little girl standing in front of the house. Emma looked at the girl. She was wearing a yellow dress, and she looked exactly like Emma. Emma turned the photograph over. On the back was a date. October 14th, 2007. Emma's hands began to shake. That was the year she was born. She immediately called her mother. "Mom, did we ever live at this address?" There was silence. Emma waited. Finally, her mother asked quietly, "Why are you asking me that? I found a photograph." Another silence. Then her mother said something that made Emma's heart stop. "Emma, you need to leave that house." Emma couldn't understand. "Why? What's wrong with this house?" Her mother refused to answer. "Just leave, please." "Mom, I was 7 years old in 2007. Did we live here?" Emma heard her mother take a deep breath. Then the call ended. Emma stared at her phone. She felt angry. Her mother had always told her that they had moved several times when Emma was young, but she had never mentioned this house. Why? And why did Emma have no memory of living there? That night, Emma decided to search for answers herself. At exactly 2:17 a.m., Emma woke up again. Tap, tap, tap. This time she knew where the sound was coming from. The hallway. Emma slowly opened her bedroom door. The hallway was dark. She turned on the light and walked toward the sound. Tap. She stopped. The noise was coming from the wall. Emma placed her hand against it. The knocking suddenly stopped. Then she noticed something. There was a thin line underneath the wallpaper. A shape. A rectangle. Emma stepped back. There was a door hidden inside the wall. The next morning, Emma searched the house for a key. She looked everywhere. Inside kitchen drawers. Under the bed. Behind old paintings. Nothing. Then she remembered the basement. The previous owner had told her that nobody had used it for years. Emma went downstairs. The basement was cold and dark. There were old boxes everywhere. After searching for almost an hour, Emma found a small metal key inside an old wooden box. There was only one word written on the box. Emma. Emma climbed back upstairs with the key in her hand. She stood in front of the hidden door. For a moment, she thought about calling her mother, but she knew her mother would tell her to leave, so Emma put the key into the lock. Click. The door opened slowly. Emma expected to see an empty room. Instead, she saw shelves, boxes, photographs, and hundreds of objects. She took one step inside. Then she saw something that made her heart stop. A small pink backpack. Emma knew it immediately. It was hers. Emma walked through the room in shock. There was her old backpack, her childhood drawing, a red bicycle helmet, a pair of tiny shoes, and a stuffed white rabbit. Emma picked up the rabbit. She remembered it. She had loved that rabbit when she was little. One day, it disappeared. Her mother had told her that she probably lost it while moving. But now it was here, inside a secret room. Emma looked around. Every object belonged to her. But she had never seen this room before. Then she noticed something else. On the wall was a photograph of Emma. She was 7 years old, and she was standing inside the room. In the corner stood a large cardboard box. Emma slowly opened it. Inside were presents, dozens of them. Each one had a name and a date. Emma, 8 years old. Emma, 9 years old. Emma, 10 years old. The presents continued year after year. There was even one for Emma's 21st birthday. Her birthday was only 2 months away. Emma touched the box with trembling hands. Someone had been preparing presents for her for almost 14 years. But who and why? Under the presents, Emma found an old black diary. She opened the first page. There was one sentence. If Emma ever finds this room, she deserves to know the truth. Emma immediately recognized the handwriting. It belonged to her father. Her father had disappeared when she was 7. Emma had spent her entire life believing that he had left them. Her mother had always said that he didn't want to be a father anymore, but the diary told a completely different story. Emma began to read, and the first sentence made her blood run cold. Someone is watching our family. Emma read the diary for hours. Her father wrote about a mysterious man who had been following them. The man appeared near their house. He sent strange letters. He watched Emma from a distance. Emma's father believed that the man wanted to hurt their family. But there was something else. Her father had discovered that the mysterious man was not a random stranger. He was his own father, Emma's grandfather, and suddenly the threats began. Emma continued reading her father's diary, and slowly, the truth began to come together. Years ago, her father had discovered a terrible secret about his own father. Emma's grandfather had been involved in financial crimes for many years, using fake companies to hide money and move it illegally. Emma's father had found documents that could prove everything, and he had planned to take them to the police. But his father discovered what he was planning. Soon, strange threats began appearing, and Emma's father realized that his family was no longer safe. He knew that if he stayed, Emma and her mother could become targets. So he made the hardest decision of his life. He disappeared, taking the most important evidence with him and hiding the rest where no one would find it. Before leaving, he created the secret room and filled it with Emma's childhood belongings and birthday presents for the years he knew he would miss. He also left his diary behind, hoping that one day, when Emma was old enough to understand the truth, she would find it. Emma had spent her entire life believing that her father had abandoned her, but the truth was that he had disappeared because he was trying to protect her. And he wrote the diary. His final plan was simple. One day, when Emma was old enough to understand everything, she would find the room. And then she would know that her father had never abandoned her. He had disappeared because he was trying to keep her alive. Emma turned the pages quickly. But suddenly, the story stopped. Several pages had been ripped out. Emma searched for another clue. At the bottom of the final page, she found one sentence. If you are reading this, I may not be able to protect you anymore. Find Daniel. Emma froze. Why did her father know Daniel? Daniel was Emma's best friend. She immediately called him. No answer. She called again, still nothing. Then, several minutes later, her phone rang. It was Daniel. Daniel, where are you? There was silence. Then he whispered, Emma, I'm sorry, I should have told you the truth. The call ended. Emma rushed to Daniel's house, but he wasn't there. His mother said that he had left earlier that morning. Emma returned home feeling more frightened than ever. When she arrived, the front door was open. Emma was sure she had locked it. She slowly entered. Everything looked normal. Until she walked into the hidden room, the diary was gone. Someone had taken it. Then Emma noticed a photograph lying on the floor. She picked it up. It showed Emma standing inside the hidden room. The photograph had been taken that morning. Emma looked at the photograph again. Then she noticed something in the background. A man was standing behind her. Suddenly, Emma heard footsteps. She turned around. Daniel was standing in the doorway. Daniel? He looked terrified. Emma, you have to listen to me. Where were you? I was trying to protect you. Emma stared at him. From what? Daniel looked at the hidden room. Then he said something Emma never expected. Your father didn't build this room. Emma's heart stopped. Then who did? Daniel looked directly at her. Your mother. Emma couldn't believe him. Daniel explained that after her father disappeared, her mother continued to protect the secret. She kept Emma's childhood things there. She bought her birthday presents every year, but the room had another purpose. Emma's father had hidden the evidence against her grandfather there before he disappeared. Emma's mother knew about it. She had spent years keeping it safe. But now someone was looking for it. Someone who knew Emma had returned. Daniel pointed toward the back of the room. There was something else. Behind the shelves was another door. Emma slowly opened it. Behind the door was a narrow staircase. The stairs went down, deeper and deeper. At the bottom of the stairs was another room. This room was different. There were no toys, no presents, only photographs, hundreds of them. Emma looked at the first. She was 7 years old. The next showed her at school. Another showed her walking home. Someone had been watching Emma for years. Then she found the newest photograph. It had been taken yesterday. Emma's hands began to shake. The mysterious man was standing across the street, but this time he wasn't alone. Emma looked closer. Standing beside the mysterious man was a woman. Emma knew her immediately. It was her mother. Emma couldn't breathe. Why was her mother standing with the man who had supposedly been following their family? Then they heard a car outside. Emma and Daniel ran upstairs. The front door opened. Emma's mother walked inside. Emma was holding the photograph. "Mom," she whispered. Her mother looked at it and began to cry. For the first time, Emma's mother told her everything. The mysterious man wasn't a stranger. He was Emma's grandfather. But her mother had not been working with him. She had been secretly meeting him because she had finally found him. For years, Emma's mother had been trying to locate the man who had destroyed their family. She wanted to know where he had hidden the money and where the missing evidence was. But her grandfather had discovered that Emma had returned to the house. And now he wanted the evidence back. Emma finally understood why her mother had told her to leave. She wasn't trying to hide the truth forever. She was afraid that if Emma stayed, her grandfather would find her. But there was one final secret. Emma looked at her mother. "Where is my father?" Her mother began to cry. Then she said, "He's alive." Emma couldn't speak. For 14 years, she had believed her father had abandoned her. Now she finally understood. He had disappeared because he was trying to protect her. He had discovered his father's crimes. He had found the evidence. He had planned to expose him. But when his own father discovered the truth, he was forced to disappear. Emma's mother had spent years protecting the evidence and searching for him. The hidden room had been created to preserve Emma's childhood memories and hide the proof of the crime. And the house Emma had chosen by accident was actually the place where everything had begun. Emma looked at the hidden room one last time. The toys, the photographs, the birthday presents, all the things she had lost as a child had been waiting for her. Emma took her mother's hand. "Let's go find my father. I still believe that he's alive."